Broadcasting to you from the heart of northern Minnesota, you are listening to the Roger Radio Show. I am Roger Radio.
And I'm Aegis, Levity of the Intermission Group.
We are ready for this right now. Before we get started with what's going on, Aegis came up with a great question of the podcast here, and the question is, what's the one music album you listen to when you're feeling sad?
For me, it's The Next Day by David Bowie. It's just very nostalgic for me. I don't know, it really hits hard. It makes me feel good when I'm feeling down.
Yeah, for me, it would be The Wall by Pink Floyd, mainly because of the themes of it. And, you know, me being a star celeb that I am here in town, I can really relate to the character in it. You know? And obviously, the question of the podcast obviously fits in with the theme that's going to be for today's podcast because, look, ladies and gentlemen, you know, I never like doing these kind of podcasts, especially when they're sad in nature, because earlier this week, Bobby Whitlock, who helped co-found the band Derek and the Dominos, has died at age 77. And we are here to celebrate his life. We're going to start with a cheers. Of course, he has to take a fucking pump as always, or a puff. I said pump.
Got a nice Voodoo Ranger over here, Imperial IPA.
I got Traveling Jack. The good old stuff right here. Anyways, rest in peace, Bobby Whitlock.
Rest in peace and cheers.
Yep, cheers, man. Now, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Whitlock helped co-found the band Derek and the Dominos, and I thought, as like a kind of a nice tribute for him of sorts, we will review Derek and the Dominos' only studio album and what is considered one of the greatest albums of all time, their 1970 album, Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs. Now, this album here, the only thing about this album is like it's almost like a unknown entity kind of album, like a underrated, underappreciated album of sorts, mainly because of the fact that there were only 2 songs that got studio play, which is sad because there was a lot of good hits that I heard listening to it. What about you, Aegis? What did you think?
I thought it was overall pretty good. There were some songs, like 2 or 3 songs I didn't like. But most of them were all right, and then some of them were pretty good, and then Layla in particular was really good.
Oh, yeah. And I got a whole lot to say about that song when we get to it. So this album, this band here, Derek and the Dominos, this was Eric Clapton's 3rd project, or 4th project that he was in, obviously. We'll get more into that info soon, but... Okay, so Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs was released on November 9th, 1970. It was recorded at Criteria Studios in Miami, Florida. The genre on it is blues rock, and it was produced by none other than Tom Dowd, who actually is credited with innovating the multi-track recording method. Multi-track recording is a method of sound recording that was developed in 1955 that allows for the separate recording of multiple sound sources or of sound sources recorded at different times to create a cohesive whole. So I think it would be like if you took like a recording track of like one instrument and put it with another kind of thing.
Yep, that's exactly
what
it is.
That way it helps balance everyone's schedule so they wouldn't have to be in the studio at the same time. Although it does feel nice so that you know what the hell you're doing for the sound. But Tom Dowd, the producer, worked with so many people. We're talking Eddie Money, the Bee Gees, Eric Clapton, Leonard Skinner, Derek and the Dominos, Rod Stewart, Cream, Lulu, Chicago, the Allman Brothers Band, Joe Bonamassa, the Jay Giles Band, Meatloaf, Sonny and Cher, the Rascals, the Spinners, Willie Nelson, Diana Ross, the Eagles, Kenny Loggins, the James Gang, Dusty Springfield, Otis Redding, Aretha Franklin, Joe Castro, and Primal Scream. He ended up receiving a Grammy Trustees Award for his lifetime achievements in February of 2002. Oh, right before his untimely death. But yeah, yeah, and obviously, in addition to him, Derek and the Dominos was also listed as the other producer. But it's like all of them together and shit like that. So,
Yeah, so one thing I know about you, you really like the album cover for this album, right?
oh my god, dude, the album cover's beautiful, man. No doubt about it.
Yeah, the album's front, this is off Wikipedia.
Yeah.
The album's front cover is credited as cover painting by Franzen de Schomburg, with thanks to his son Emily for the abuse of his house. Bob,
The abuse of
Bobby,
his house.
yeah, Bobby Whitlock revealed in an interview that while they were staying at Emily Franzen's house in France in August 1970, he took them to his father's studio just after they had made a mess by having an egg fight. It was there that they saw "Ne fille au bouquet," a girl with bouquet, as it would be in English.
Yeah.
The painting by Emily Theodore Franzen de Schomburg, which became the cover of Layla. Eric
Yeah.
Clapton immediately spotted a likeness between the blonde-haired woman it depicted and Patty Boyd. Clapton also insisted that the image be used unadorned on the Layla sleeve, with no text added to give either the band's name or the title of the album.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, dude, the album cover is just amazing, dude. I mean, I think
Yeah.
fits really perfectly with this album and the band's identity and nature. And
All
yeah,
right, 46.
right before we continue, man. This here's my dad's 40th anniversary box right here, which also includes other tracks that they were going to record supposedly for their second album, but that'll be more information I'll get into soon.
Yeah. 46 years after Franzen gave the painting to Eric Clapton, it was the subject of a French lawsuit in which Clapton was ordered to pay compensation for altering the image on a cardboard pop-up used on the 40th anniversary reissue of the album. The family of Franzen de Schomburg, who died in 69, received 15,000 euros, which is $16,400.
Yeah,
Clapton later gave the painting to George Harrison, who subsequently gave the painting to Boyd. Boyd put the painting up for a sale at auction at Christie's in February 2024 alongside letters and notes from both Clapton and Harrison. With an estimate of 40 to 60,000 euros after a prolonged bidding battle, the painting was sold for 1,976,000 euros.
damn, bro. Dude, I would have given
As
anything to get that painting, honestly.
I know you would. You love this album
Right? And
cover.
I wouldn't just get it small, dude. I would get it so enlarged, man. I want it to take up like at least not the whole wall, but just a quarter of it. Like it's just a beautiful painting, man.
Yeah, it's called Girl with Bouquet.
Girl with bouquet. All right.
That's it in English then. It's originally French.
Yeah, no, I'll know what it's called. I think I would also get that, and I would also get Behemoth's World by Richard Clapton something. I can't remember. The painting that was used on the front album cover for Blue Oyster Cult's Cultosaurus Erectus.
Yeah, yeah, I know you like that one too.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna quickly read this article here. That's on Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Albums of All Time. This is listed at 226 as of this episode. Here's what it says: Eric Clapton was tired of stardom, so he formed a new band where he could just be one of the lads. But there was no mistaking the blues guitar on Layla, as Clapton sang about falling in love with the wife of his best friend George Harrison, who turned out to be Patty Boyd. The tortured love songs on Layla get a kick from guest and guitarist Dwayne Allman of the Allman Brothers Band, whose interplay with Clapton in Key to the Highway and Have You Ever Loved a Woman is both harmonious and fiercely competitive. Electric brotherly love.
One thing I noticed about this album, it's got a lot of cover songs on it.
Yeah, there is about let me see. There was like at least
Let me
about
see, I have it
five or
written
six of
down.
them maybe.
One, two, three, four, five. Five. There are five of them.
Yeah, but they still somehow worked in the end too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this album did really good in the ratings. It got 4 to 5 stars each for these, so these are really good. This band by some miracle actually had only one live performance for at least televised, and it was on none other than the Johnny Cash show. It was broadcasted on January 6, 1971. The band performed It's Too Late and then joined Cash and Carl Perkins for the Perkins classic Matchbox. Yeah.
All right, so we
Um,
want to get in the tracks then, or you got
yeah.
some more to
Well,
say?
before we do that, I want to get into the background for this album of how it came to be.
Okay.
So, in the years prior to before Derek and the
Excuse me.
Dominos came to be, it grew out of Eric Clapton's frustration with the hype associated with his previous bands, Cream and Blind Faith, both of which are supergroups. It was among the first supergroups in music history. And we do plan to do a podcast talking about supergroups in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Following the latter's dissolution of Blind Faith, he joined Delaney and Bonnie and Friends, whom he had come to know while they were the opening act on Blind Faith's U.S. tour in the summer of '69. After the band split up, a Friends alumnus, Bobby Whitlock, joined up with Clapton in Surrey, England. And obviously they wanted, alongside with that, after touring with Joe Cocker straight after leaving Delaney and Bonnie, Clapton and Whitlock, along with the likes of Carl Radle and Jim Gordon, reunited with them in England and wanted to avoid staying out of the limelight. And they ended up coming up with the anonymous name Derek and the Dominos. The funny thing that I looked up is that it was supposed to actually be called Eric and the Dynamos.
Hmm.
But Eric Clapton wanted to use a different alias because he was just tired of like all the fame and all this and that. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you expect when you're like one of the biggest musicians at that time? And Eric Clapton was already getting a huge cult following by that point. I mean, he already previously worked as a session musician for like a bunch of other people, like in the blues rock scene, you know? So the source of the album's eventual centerpiece, which we will get into soon, was in Clapton's infatuation with Pattie Boyd, obviously, and like I said, we will get to that soon. It was during this time that Tom Dowd, their producer, was also working as a producer for the Allman Brothers Band's second album, Idlewild South, and and Dwayne Allman ended up. I can't remember. I think Dowd decided to set up like a meeting or something like that between Clapton and Dwayne Allman. I think at this point. Okay, so Allman later called Dowd to let him know that his band was in town to perform a benefit concert on August 26th. And when Clapton learned of this, he insisted on going to see their show. And quoted as saying, "You mean that guy who plays on the back of Hey Jude? I want to see him play. Let's go." And stagehand seated Clapton and company in front of the barricade, separating the audience from the stage. When they all sat down, Allman was playing a solo. As he turned around and opened his eyes and saw Clapton, he froze. Dickie Betts, who was the Allman Brothers' other lead guitarist, picked up where Allman left off, but when he followed Allman's eyes to Clapton, he had to turn his back to keep from freezing himself. Allman asked Clapton if he could come by the studio to watch them record, but Clapton invited him directly, saying, "Bring your guitar, you got to play." They were jamming together overnight. It was at this point that the two started bonding musically and personally. Dowd would report that they were trading licks, they were swapping guitars, they were talking shop and information and having a ball. No holds barred, just admiration for each other's technique and facility. Clapton wrote later in his autobiography that he and Allman were very inseparable there during those sessions in Florida, which is where they were recording Layla. He talked about Allman as the musical brother I never had but wish I did have. Um, so it was also during that time that, let me see if I can find it. It was at this point that Clapton actually invited Dwayne Allman to join the band as a permanent member, but Allman demurred or something like that, or you know what I mean with that. And because he wanted to stay committed to the Allman Brothers, but said that he would come on to help with their music. And remember, this is a blues rock album here. It's classified as that. And Dwayne Allman, he was one of the guys who pioneered the Southern rock sound.
What would you say is your favorite blues rock album that you've listened to? For me, it is easily David Bowie's 1970 album, The Man Who Sold the World.
Yeah. Fuck. I actually don't know, honestly, but it would have to be something from either BB King or Buddy Guy, honestly, for me. I can't remember which one. I think for me, I would say Buddy Guy's latest album that came out in 2022. I can't remember the name. Let me look it up for you. I know it is classified as a blues rock album. I played a few of songs from that album, and this guy's like in his fucking mid 90s now.
Yeah,
Oh, he's 89.
one day I do want to do a review of David Bowie's 1970 album, The Man Who Sold the World. That was
I'll
his
add it
first
to the
like really
list.
good, solid album.
Yeah. It is classified as straight blues, but it does sound more like a blues rockish like album. So, but yeah, just send me the name of the album and I'll add it to the list.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny thing is about Delaney and Bonnie, this band included a bunch of other members that included Dwayne and Greg Allman, Eric Clapton, George Harrison, Leon Russell, Bobby Whitlock, Dave Mason, Rita Coolidge, and King Curtis, and your main guy, Steve Howe of Yes.
Hmm.
You know? But yeah, Delaney and Bonnie, they were just like that rotating cast of King Crimson. They had like so many guys that came and went. Fucking
Yeah.
rotating door, if you ask me.
Literally, there was only one member of King Crimson who was there from the beginning to its current state, and that is Robert Fripp.
Yeah. And he's
And
still there.
he's really something.
Yeah. I will say this, man, and right before we get into the album here, dude, I just want to say this, dude. And I've obviously told you a whole lot about this, but I said it in my YouTube short where I talked about Bobby Whitlock, and I'll say it again. Derek and the Dominos is like one of those biggest what if bands, but they are, of course, considered one of the most cursed bands, in my opinion, because of like all the misfortunes and everything that happened to them.
Yeah, you were talking to me about that.
Yeah. Eric Clapton, who was suffering from severe substance abuse, dealt with personal tragedies in his own right. All right, your cam's a little blurry, by the way. Yeah, he lost his close friend Jimi Hendrix during that year. His baby, who I think was a toddler at one point, ended up climbing out of the window, falling to his death. And God, that was just so god awful, man. And like, I don't know how Clapton was even able to still soldier on after all that shit that happened to him, you know? And then in addition to that, Dwayne Allman ended up dying in October of 1971 in a motorcycle accident when he was riding his motorcycle in Georgia, Macon, Georgia, and a semi truck ended up stopping in the middle of the road. He tried to like go around it, but he ended up clipping the back, and that was so god awful right there. Like he went scathing on the road, and the motorcycle landed on him.
Damn.
Yeah, and then of course, then we come to Jim Gordon, the drummer, who this was probably the most horrific one of all of them. He basically had undiagnosed schizophrenia, and he ended up killing his mother with a hammer during a psychotic episode.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, he got confined to a mental institution for the rest of his life, and he was there until his death in 2023.
I am glad my schizophrenia wasn't that kind of schizophrenia.
Yeah,
Like I got voices in my head, all right, but they don't tell me to do things. It's just like a nuisance, you know?
yeah. They're just saying this, saying that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, with Bobby Whitlock passing away recently at the age of 77, Eric Clapton is now the last surviving member of Derek and the Dominos. Because like here's how it goes. Dwayne Allman died in 71. Carl Radel, who was the bassist, died in 1980, and then we had Jim Gordon in 2023, and then Bobby Whitlock recently. So Eric Clapton's left. He's the only one left.
He's the next on the list.
Unfortunately, yeah. Okay, man. So now that being said, man, shall we get into this?
Yeah, let's get into the tracks.
Alrighty. We are gonna start off with I Looked Away. Now, what is there to say about this song? It sounds very laid back in my opinion. You know?
Yeah, I wrote down that it was not bad. That's all I had to say about it.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
can't really find any details of this particular track online either.
Yeah. I let me pull up YouTube music, and if we have to, we could just take a look at the lyrics too, so see
Yeah.
if this shit will even load on me, you know. There we go. Now we're talking. I just gotta make sure that the music is muted. I don't need to get fucking copyrighted, bro. But yeah, the album pretty much says it all. It's a assorted love song, so these are all gonna be like kind of love songies, so to speak, you know. All right, there we go. I'm gonna quickly mute that. Okay, so the lyrics start off with she took my hand and tried to make me understand that she would always be there, but I looked away and she ran away from me today. I'm such a lonely man. Let me ask you this, dude. Is it like one of those instances where she has a crush on you, but you just keep brushing them off and they just leave kind of thing?
Oh,
Because that's what I'm getting for a vibe with this lyric with these lyrics right here.
yeah, she took my hand and tried to make me understand that she would always be there. But I looked away and she ran away from me today. I'm such a lonely man. It looks like, yeah, this girl liked him, but he didn't give her the chance she deserved, and she kind of just left him.
Yeah. You know, I can relate to that honestly, man, because so back in my first year at Masabi Range College, there was a gal who was like one of those three-star athletes, played volleyball, women's basketball, and softball, man, and she was probably the only gal that actually liked me, you know, but
Hmm.
remember, dude, this was when I was in a very, very dark period in my life, dude. Like was still I still didn't have enough time to like fully process what happened with my dad's passing, you know, and not to mention I was suicidal at that time too. And
In there.
I guess I kind of kept pushing her away because I didn't want her to deal with that hell that I was going through at the time, you know. But at the on the other hand, you know, like when it comes to like needing therapy and whatnot, no, just having a woman's companionship really does help too. But I didn't
Exactly.
understand, dude. I didn't get it. I was too busy occupied with all my other problems at then for me to understand that. So, and that's remember, dude, this was 8 years ago. Ugh. Excuse me. Alrighty, so it continues on to say, it came as no surprise to me that she'd leave me in misery. It seemed like only yesterday she made a vow that she'd never walk away.
Yeah, she didn't. He wasn't as affectionate enough for this woman that she would stay with him, so she left, and she left him in misery. because he didn't treat her well enough,
Yeah. Yep, it still continues on with that story that I just told you too. So then it
Mm-hmm.
repeats the chorus. I don't know if I would call it a chorus, but I will call it that anyways. And then it says, "And if it seemed a sin to love another man's woman, baby, I guess I'll keep on sinning, loving her, Lord, to my very last day." Now that part I've never done.
That seems like a reference to fucking Eric Clapton and Layla.
Yeah, like I said, this is all like recurring themes and whatnot. It's not even considered a concept album, but I think now that I look at the lyrics, it probably is a concept album just
Yeah,
about falling in love and infatuation and this and that. All right. I looked away and she ran away from me today. I'm such a lonely man. Continuing on with that. Yep.
and that's it.
Yeah. What did you say this was the song you really didn't care much about or
Oh, let's see. What did I write down? I thought it was not bad.
okay, I
I
got
thought
you.
it was a decent song, but it wasn't that incredible.
Yeah, I don't know, man. For me, it's pretty tough to say. I did like the mellowness of it. Like it felt so mellow to me. And I do love my mellow stuff. Sometimes it's like I'm a guy who likes to listen to that hard rock and extreme stuff, but at times I'll listen to like stuff that's so laid back. I'll just be like, relaxation,
Hmm.
you know. Alrighty, so next up, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna talk about Bell Bottom Blues, and apparently, for some reason, the lyrics are not fucking showing up on here. I'll have to probably look
Uh,
them up.
it says here it dealt with Clapton's unrequited love for Patty Boyd, the wife of his friend George Harrison,
Oh yeah,
and appeared on their album.
okay, I got you. Thank you, man. Okay, so Bell Bottom Blues. This song was recorded right before Dwayne Allman joined the recording sessions. So Clapton was the only guitarist on this song. And I think this is one of 3 songs that Dwayne Allman did not appear on. Um, Let me think here. Yeah, this is one of 2 songs that mostly gets radio play.
Yeah,
And
this one and Layla, right?
yeah, dude, you're going blurry again. I know I'm
This
seeing clear
goddamn,
straight.
it's this fucking webcam, dude.
Yeah, dude, you might need to get a new webcam or something, man. I'm just saying. Okay, so now, do you know what bell bottoms are?
It's a type of jeans, right?
Yep. Or a style of
Like tight
trousers.
up
They are,
top and then it gets loose toward the bottom.
yep. The picture that I'm looking at is that they are striped too, man. Like it just looks cool. And remember, dude, this is the 60s and 70s, man. And you know how they had probably way more better fashion than we do today. I mean, look at us, dude.
Yeah, this song just kind of reeks of Eric Clapton's love toward fucking Layla.
Yeah. Um Okay, yeah, this song was written for Patty Boyd after she asked him to get her a pair of bell-bottom blue jeans from the United States. She was married to Clapton's best friend and George Harrison, who was a member of the Beatles. And let's see, Clapton wrote this song for her along with many others on the album, such as "I Looked Away" and "Layla," which we will continue to get into. The lyrics are described a lover's quarrel, and there's some of the choruses that I'll read here. Do you want to see me crawl across the floor to you? Do you want to hear me beg you to take me back? I gladly do it because I don't want to fade away. Give me one more day, please. I don't want to fade away. In your heart, I want to stay. This is a reference almost to, the gal that I told you about.
Yeah.
Not for the last, not for the last song that we talked about, but that gal that I was, quote unquote, romantically involved with.
Mm-hmm.
She kept begging me to crawl back to her technically, you know. But I was just like, I'm done. I'm done.
All right, you keep talking. I got to go pee. I can still hear you.
Right, you gotta go masturbate.
Yeah.
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the Roger Radio Show if you're enjoying this. And also go subscribe to the Intermission group channel as well. The link to that channel will be in the description below, so I encourage you to check it out. Give my boy Aegis some love, man, you know? Give him some love and support. I'll tell you, we are gonna have some very good stuff coming up soon within the next I would say couple weeks for like what we're planning to do, but it'll take like a month and a half to finalize all of it. But it's a huge project that we are planning, and I want to keep it a secret and a surprise for all of you. And Aegis will be planning to do the same too. Ain't that
Yep, we
right?
have some big plans coming up, and it's
Yep.
gonna be fucking awesome.
Yep, that's for sure, man. That's for sure. Alrighty, so to continue on with this, contrasted with the somber longing expressed in Clapton's voice in the verses, here it is: Bell Bottom Blues. You made me cry. I don't want to lose this feeling. If I could choose a place to die, it would be in your arms.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
What the fuck, bro? It
Yeah.
almost just sounded like they made a reference to, Cutting Crew's song, I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know why, that just made me fucking reminded me of that. Alrighty, let's see here. Oh, yeah. The Rolling Stones made an actual reference to the song Bell Bottom Blues in their song Soul Survivor on their 1972 album Exile on Main Street. They sang, I Got the Bell Bottom Blues.
Hmm.
I don't know. I think Mick Jagger had an idea for that. So,
Yeah, that Bell Bottom Blues was recorded before Dwayne Allman joined the recording sessions for the Layla album,
yep.
so Clapton was the only guitarist on the song. Clapton compensated for this by playing multiple guitar parts, including a sensitive George Harrison-like guitar solo and chime-like harmonics. The other
Yep.
musicians on the recording were Bobby Whitlock on Hammond organ, Carl Radle on bass and percussion, and Jim Gordon on drums, including tabla and backwards snare. Whitlock also sang occasional harmony vocals.
Yeah, and dude, his harmonic voice was pretty good with it. Like it complemented Clapton's singing, you know.
Yeah.
It really did indeed. Okay, next up is going to be Keep On Growing. I can't remember. Is this like the first of one of the cover songs or no?
No, this isn't a cover song, but I wrote down that it was really good. I really liked the song.
Okay, yeah, I just found the list of the cover songs. I just wanted to make sure on it. So, okay. I wonder if there's a way that oh, yes, I can duplicate this. Good, because I might need all of this here. So, all right. The next one is called Keep On Growing. And I don't know. Do you feel like it's supposed to be about, just a growing old or whatever the fuck it is, or no?
Let's see. I was laughing, playing in the streets. I was unknowing. I didn't know my fate. Playing the game of love, but never really showing. I thought that love could wait. So it's like starts off with like the innocence of childhood, you know?
Yeah.
Like love isn't important to you. You're all about fucking playing cooties and shit.
Yeah. Or just doing whatever to get into lots of trouble. God knows how much trouble I fucking got
Yeah.
into.
Hmm. I was a young man and sure to go to stray. You walked right into my life and told me love would find a way. To keep on growing, keep on growing, keep on growing.
You
I
mean
was
flowing?
stand. No, it says growing here.
It says flowing on my track list, bro.
One of them is wrong. I don't know which one, and I don't
Yeah,
really care.
I'm on YouTube Music right now, and I'm just looking at the lyrics. Maybe I say we find out which is who's wrong, man. We just do a contest, find out who's who,
Yeah.
who's telling the truth, people. We'll do a two truths, one lie series.
Mm.
I'm just saying, dude, that
And
would be a good
yeah,
idea.
yeah. It goes on. I was standing, looking in the face of one who loved me, feeling so ashamed, hoping and praying, Lord, that she could understand me, but I didn't know her name.
Oh my god, dude. Have you ever had one of those occasions where you just meet a nice looking gal, man, and you just don't know her name, and
Yes.
you're like, who the fuck is
Yes.
she? Who the fuck is she? Dude, of all the fucking women that I ended up bringing back to my place, dude, I don't even remember half their names.
That is very you.
Dude, it was in the heat of the moment, dude, and I was in a hurry, and she was in a hurry, dude. I mean, what else am I gonna do? I mean, dude, you know what that tells me? That tells me I might have to slow down a bit, but 90% chances I'm not going to.
Hmm.
I'm as fast as a jackrabbit, jackass.
You jack off harder than a jackrabbit.
That's a good soundbite right there. Somebody make a meme of that. Be sure to spam my social media with your memes and spam Aegis' social media with your memes.
And then it goes on. She took my hand in hers and told me I was wrong. She said, "You're going to be all right, boy. Oh, just as long." And then it goes to the chorus again, and it says, "Maybe, maybe,
Baby.
someday, baby. Who knows when, where, or when, Lord. Just you wait and see. I'll be walking together hand in hand along forever. Woman, just you and me. Because time is going to change us, Lord, and I know it's true. Our love is going to keep on glowing and growing, and it's all we got to do."
Yeah, no,
And
times
it
are
just
gonna
repeats
change
for the
us.
rest of
It
the
is
song.
true. It is true on that. Like chances are, most times, everyone's personalities change as time and age change starts going and going. You know.
Yeah.
Alrighty. This next one here we got is Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out. And this is a blues standard that was written and made originally by Jimmy Cox in
Hmm.
1923 and originally performed in a vaudeville blues style in the aftermath of the 1920-21 US economic depression. And yeah, and a later 1929 recording by Bessie Smith became popular during the early years of the Great Depression due to the lyrics highlighting the fleeting nature of material wealth and the friendships that come and go with it. Since Smith's 1929 recording, the song has been interpreted by numerous musicians in a variety of styles, with Derek and the Dominos being one of them. You
Yeah, it
know?
says here, when he was an art student in the early 1960s, Eric Clapton was attracted to London's folk music scene and the finger-picking acoustic guitar style of Big Bill Broonzy. Along with Key to the Highway, Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out was one of the first songs that Clapton learned to play in this style. In
Yeah.
1970, he recorded a group version with his band Derek and the Dominos for their debut album, Layla. The recording took place at the Criteria Studios in Miami, Florida, with Jim Gordon, Carl Radle, Bobby Whitlock, and Dwayne Allman. As
Yes.
Whitlock recalled, Sam Samudio was
Yeah, Samudio,
also
I would say.
was also recording at Criteria, according that they recorded the song.
Yep. And it says here that it was Dwayne Allman's first song with them too.
Yeah.
And Eric Clapton says this was Dwayne Allman's first song with us. I believe that it was a song that he and Eric both had in common. This song was recorded live, vocals and all, and with no overdubs. It was the first take, but of course it was all worked out before we went into it. So yeah, Allman had recorded "Nobody Knows When You're Down and Out" earlier with his brother Greg Allman and used the similar guitar lines for the Derek and the Dominos recording. Whitlock also noted that Clapton played through a Fender Champ guitar amplifier. That's a beauty. It's a 5-watt practice amp, while Allman used a Fender Twin. Oh yeah, I know these Fender Twins. My dad had a couple of them. Yeah, I thought it was a decent song, I really did.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I mean, when you get when you can somehow manage to take like any cover song and make it into your own style and it's still just as good as the original, dude, you're good. You're golden. Hell, there was a lot of bands that I know of that started like their first albums, like first or one or two albums would be like mostly cover songs. Like the Beatles actually did that with their first two albums, or I think just their first, their debut album. Stones did that with like their debut album was all cover songs, and then their second album I think only had like one or two, and then they had originals.
I know in my lifetime, I don't plan on doing any cover songs. I'd much rather just make my own music, you know?
Yeah, most of for me personally, dude, there are some covers that I do like, but I feel that originals should never be touched. Why would you
Yeah.
want to touch them? All right,
All
so
right, on to
I
I
got
Am Yours.
here I got the lyrics up right here, quick. Like for this song, I want to read these quick. Once I lived the life of a millionaire, spent all my money, I just did not care. Took all my friends out for a good time, bought bootleg whiskey, champagne, and wine. Dude, doesn't that not sound like what you and I do every
Hmm.
fucking weekend?
Yup. Hmm.
And it's gonna fucking happen again. It's gonna happen again. We just know it. But the difference though is we're drinking IPAs, dude. Unless if I gotten whiskey or whatnot. Well, I do occasionally or all the time whenever we were hanging out at the Eagles Club with you, me, and G Money whenever he was with us. Champagne, I do not drink unless if it's like for special occasions. And wine, I don't get drunk off that shit at all. I've had like maybe a half a
I am
bottle and
not
I
a
never
wine
got
guy.
drunk off it.
If I have a choice between wine or beer, I'll always choose beer.
Dude, I want a good buzz. That's me anyway. So,
Yeah.
all right. So, to continue on, ladies and gentlemen, then I began to fall so low, lost all my good friends. I did not have nowhere to go. If I get my hands on $1 again, I'm going to hang on to it till that eagle grins. Beginning to fall so low, dude, I could certainly understand that. I've had my lows, lost all my good friends. That was their fucking fault, not mine. Everyone, and even then, dude, a lot of people want to blame me for why it ended, dude, but that's not true. That ain't fucking true at all. It's either you're loyal to me or that's that. Game over. If I could get my hands on $1 again, I'm going to hang on to it till that eagle grins. What do you think that part means?
Huh?
Is it like if you're broke or something and just looking to make cash or something like that? Or how does that work?
I'm gonna hang on. If I get my hands on $1 again, I'm gonna hang on to it until that eagle grins. I know that sounds like maybe a reference to fucking what's the word for it? Capitalism. Sounds like a
Yeah,
reference to capitalism.
I could see that, man. All right. So, next one is cuz nobody knows you when you're down and out in your pocket, not one penny. And as for friends, you don't have any. That pretty much is almost like, all the money has just got into your head so much that you're just not you, you're just gone,
Yeah.
kind of thing. That almost sounds like a mental health metaphor, you know, like when people come up with metaphors for like anything in general.
Hmm.
That's how I see it. So, all right, when you finally get back upon your feet again, everybody wants to be your old long lost friend. I said it's mighty strange, without a doubt. Nobody knows you when you're down and out. Yeah,
That hits me. I was like, once once you're finally getting your bearings and shit, once you're famous, everyone wants to be like, oh, remember me, remember me, remember me.
dude,
It
doesn't
was
that
like,
just
dude, I was your best friend. It was like, you haven't talked to me in years, dude.
yeah, you know, what makes you think that I want to? When it comes to me, dude, like with all the bridges that I had to burn, what makes you think I want to fucking go back to you after all the shit that you've done to me?
Exactly. Exactly.
And do you know how? And even then, dude, like when I started my radio career, which will be 3 years ago in a month, dude. Do you know how many people I had to burn bridges with who have been trying to reach out to me? A lot.
Hmm. Well, I'm always here for you, buddy.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
You're a
And
really good
and
friend,
the
dude.
same for me, man. You know I'm always gonna be here too, man. Alrighty, so the final core, the final line is here are when you finally get back upon your feet again, everybody wants to be your good old long lost friend, blah blah blah. Said it's mighty strange, yeah, nobody knows you, nobody knows you, nobody knows you when you're down and out. So, okay, just going back to that last line that we were talking about, dude, just fuck off, you know, fuck off.
Hmm.
Alrighty. All right, so the next song that we have here is called I Am Yours. And you know something, dude? The overall sound of this song, for some reason, dude, it almost reminds me of Dire Straits' song Water of Love.
I'm not familiar with that song.
Take a look. I would say this it's one of their better songs. It ain't from the Brothers in Arms album. It's from their 78 self-titled debut,
Okay.
which also includes what I think is one of their biggest songs, Sultans of Swing. I would encourage you to check that out too. I think I would say at least their first 4 albums for Dire Straits is good. But yeah, the overall sound, dude, it almost sounds like it. At least in a bluesy kind of sound, like not fully the same, but you could hear hints of it. At least in my opinion, anyway. So
Hmm. Yeah, this song, I Am Yours, it also very reeks of Eric Clapton's obsession, you know.
yeah, well, here's the thing though, Aegis. From what I saw for the research on this album, dude, this whole album was basically a love letter to Patty Boyd.
Yes, you're
But
very correct, sir. That's what it seems like to me so far.
yeah, no, I don't think I mentioned this when we were talking about the background of this album. But dude, uh, Eric Clapton and Patty Boyd have had romantic encounters,
Yeah.
and it
I
was while
thought
she was still
I always
married to
thought it was
George
just like
Harrison.
him.
Huh?
I thought he was just like obsessed with this one when he didn't want anything from him, you know?
Yeah, you'd be surprised, dude. You'd be surprised to what love can do, man. Especially when you're like so fucking obsessed with someone, you know. Like when it
Yes.
comes to me, I try to tote the line between that, dude. I can be a love, sure, but I don't want to be way too obsessed because the obsession just takes full control of your mental psyche, and that's what.
Hmm.
And as a result of it, dude, it causes you to go do whatever to get their attention, dude. Like Ronald Reagan, dude, the guy who you really don't care about, dude. He was shot. He was nearly assassinated by John Wilkes, or no, John Hinckley Jr., who had an obsession with Jodie Foster. He
Yeah, and
actually
he thought the
did
only way to get her attention was to be by shooting
to
Ronald Reagan.
shoot Ronald Reagan. Yeah, and even then, and just off topic, dude. he famously told the doctors when he went to the emergency room, "I hope you're all Republicans." And when he was on the phone with his first lady, Lady Nancy, he said, "I forgot to duck." But yeah, well, like I said, dude, obsession can really, really kind of kill you inside, so to speak, you know? That's what I always said about, you know, like with when we talked about Pink Floyd's The Dark Side of the Moon, dude, their third track On the Run, I felt was about desperation and obsession. You're obsessed with going after something, but in the end, you won't be able to get it. And the plane crash signals you're too late. Okay, so the lyrics go as follows: I am yours, however distant you may be. There blows no wind, but wafts your scent to me. There sings
Wafts you're
no.
sent to me. Sorry.
What?
Wafts you're sent to me.
Oh. Just made a fucking reference to last week's
We should just
podcast.
we should just have a compilation of like burps from
Yeah.
this fucking show, dude.
Yeah, bruh, I'm playing some compilations, but do you know how many hours of fucking footage I'm gonna have to go through, dude?
Yeah.
I was thinking of doing a compilation where we just shit on Taylor Swift and Beyonce and all the fucking musicians we hate. You know, so we'll probably do a podcast episode just talking shit about all the musicians and bands that we hate. So, yep. So, oh, fuck, where was I on this lyric again?
There blows no wind, but wafts you're sent to me.
Okay, thank you. There sings no bird but calls your name to me. Each memory that has left its trace with me lingers forever as a part of me. Isn't it just like you just look back? Let's say that you see a gal like how many years after whatever, right? And you guys just reflect on it. Doesn't that seem like
Yeah,
it, honestly?
it's just showing that he's very infatuated with this woman.
Yeah. Dude, my chair is squeaky as fuck, dude. I might have to grease it.
You gotta grease what?
I might have to grease my chair, dude. I can hear it squeak a bit. I don't know if you can hear it. My microphone is actually really good at.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah,
Sometimes, not always, just sometimes.
yeah. All right, let's see here. Yeah, it pretty much just continues the lyrics. How many times here? So yeah, that's pretty much it, really, for this fucking song, bro.
So,
What else am I gonna fucking say about it? Uh, let's see here.
any day, or did you want to take a break?
Let's do one more song and then we'll go a break. All right, so
Okay.
the next song that we are going to talk about is called Anyday, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't write anything down for this.
I thought it was really good. I liked it.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember if this was one of the other songs that. Oh yeah, this song features double guitar parts played by both Clapton and Dwayne Allman, man. And Clapton asked the Allman to sit in for those sessions after seeing him perform with the Allman Brothers. Then on the recording, Allman played his guitar solo, and yeah, the rest was history with that. I can't remember which songs Dwayne Allman did not be included in. I'll have to try and find those.
Okay.
I know there was like I said, 3 of them that he was on. So let me see if I can find that quick. Where are you? Where are you? Yeah, I'm guess I'm not finding it, but I know that it was a Bell Bottom Blues was obviously one of them, but there were 2 other songs that he wasn't in, but I can't remember or find those names. So let me see.
All right,
Let me.
do you want me to start with the lyrics?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and start that quick?
All right. We were talking, and I thought I heard you say, "Please leave me alone. Nothing in this world can make me stay. I'd rather go back home." But if you believed in me like I believe in you, we could have a love so true, we would go on endlessly. And I know any day, I will see you smile anyway, only for a little while. Well, someday, baby, I know you're gonna need me. When this old world has got you down, I'll be right there, someone call me, and I'll never let you down.
Is it my imagination, dude, or didn't like the first couple lyrics on that almost remind you of the lyrics for "Go Your Own Way" by Fleetwood Mac?
I can see it, yeah.
Makes me wonder if Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks got inspired for that.
And a fucking ham.
Yep, good old Lindsey Buckingham, probably one of my favorite guitarists, dude. He's the one that sang the song "Holiday Road" for the National Lampoon's Vacation movies.
Ooh, I love those movies. All right, but if you believed in me like I believe in you, blah blah blah, repeats the chorus. To break the glass and twist the knife into yourself, you've got to be a fool to understand. To bring your woman back home after she's left you for another, you've got to be a man. And that repeats the chorus again.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Uh,
um. I mean, what's there to say? I mean, the when she leaves you for another, like you just, it's kind of like almost you'll feel like some kind of resentment or jealousy growing kind of thing.
yeah,
God
because
knows how
she's going
many.
toward this other guy. He wants her for him. He's like, when you're tired of him, just come to me.
Yeah, it's the yeah. That almost reminds me of um the theme of one of the Seinfeld episodes that's from either no one of their last two seasons actually. Like there was Jerry and Elaine, the main characters, who were waiting for like their this one couple to break up because they wanted to date one of each of them.
Hmm.
You know. Alrighty, man. So what do you say? Shall we take a smoke break or a drink break or whatever?
I'm gonna go pee and grab a sandwich.
Yeah, you're gonna go masturbate.
Yes.
I'm just gonna be here having a quick drink and then maybe get another one, dude. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a short break right here. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back. Until next time, go fuck yourselves. Welcome back, motherfuckers, to the show that makes you lose your virginity even though there was no penetration. I am Roger Radio, and I am here with my boy Aegis, who's apparently stuffing his face. What do you got there for a sandwich? What's that?
I don't know.
You don't know?
It's just a sandwich.
Well, what's in it?
Looks like there's some barbecue chicken, cheese, and some lettuce, maybe some mayo.
No, dude, no, I don't care what anyone says. Barbecue chicken's the fucking best. I assumed that it would be like buffalo chicken, man. I know how you are with your spicy ass shit.
Mm-hmm.
And God, don't even get me started with that. Why do I let myself get involved in your shit, dude? Why do I do this? But you know what? Whatever. I'll cheers to that, man. Had to get a refill here, obviously, because we still got a lot of work to do here on this channel. Or this video, I meant to say. I apologize, people. But yeah, rest in peace, Bobby Whitlock, man. Your legacy will never be forgotten, man. And here's to Derek and the Dominos. in my opinion, one of the biggest what if bands, you know, if they had not released just that one album that we are actually reviewing, folks.
Cheers.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we have covered the first 6 songs here, obviously, and now we are gonna discuss the final 8 songs. We got 8 more songs to go. So now we are gonna continue off with the song "Key to the Highway."
This is
Now,
another cover song, by the way.
yep, another cover song, and it was done by. It was a blues standard that was performed and recorded by several blues and other artists, but blues pianist Charlie Seeger first recorded the song in 1940. Jazz Gilliam and Big Bill Brunzi followed with recordings in 1940 and 1941, using an arrangement that has become the standard. And then when Little Walter updated the song in 1958 with the electric Chicago blues style, which was starting to get full steam at that time, it became a success on the R&B record charts. A variety of artists have since interpreted the song, including Eric Clapton, who recorded several versions, including, of course, Derek and the Dominos. So that's pretty cool, man. I mean, I can understand if you want to do like cover songs for like, you know, songs that were released in like the 40s and 50s, dude. That's one story, dude. But when you're going to do something that's like from the 60s onwards, dude, I mean, I don't know, man. That's my take on it. What is your take about like how far they should go back for like if they want to do cover songs?
I don't think there should be a limit as long as you're using good creativity and make something really unique and
Yeah,
honoring the original, you know? As long as you're honoring the original and making something new and good, I think you're okay.
yeah. I mean, even then, with most of these cover songs, you just they always credit the original people who made them.
Yes, yes, and they should.
Yeah. Well, that and they have to because it leads to lawsuits, and you don't want to get swept up in them. I'm just saying. All right. So to continue on, ladies and gentlemen, we're good. Now I'm gonna say this here. Didn't it? Isn't me or did the overall sound almost sound like that you were walking into a small town bar and had a bit of, and the song had like a bit of country influence?
I'd have to listen to it again.
That's how it sounded to me, honestly, but it did sound pretty good, you know. Um, okay, so the original recordings, it was credited to Charles Chas Seeger and William Big Bill Brunzi. Brunzi explained the song's development. Some of the verses he was singing, or Charlie Seeger was singing it in the South the same time as I sung it in the South. And practically all of blues is just a little change from the way that they was sung when I was a kid. You take one song and make 50 out of it, just change it a little bit. You know what, dude?
Yeah,
That's a
that's how it
true
works with
statement.
jazz standard. That's how it works with jazz standards, especially.
Yeah. I know that Steve Miller's jazz album Born to Be Blue, they were all jazz standards, you know, and no, he made them sound different, you know. So,
Yeah.
um
Right. It says here originally an acoustic number. Key to the Highway is about a woman driving a man out of his home, out of the state, and quite literally out of his mind.
yeah.
It was first recorded in 1940 by pianist Charlie Seeger. Originally, the song was only credited to Seeger alone, but was co-written with Big Bill Brunzi.
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I was on Tinder swiping.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um yeah, I mean, it's, what can I say? I do like the song. Maybe I should play it on the old touch tunes when I'm at the Eagle, see if anyone can understand it. Assuming if it's even on touch tunes, but it's a really good song. All right, so the lyrics go as follows. I got the key to the highway, filled out and bound to go. I'm gonna leave you here running, walking is most too slow. Okay, so now I just explained that it feels like I'm in a small town bar, and yet the fucking first lines of the lyrics have already made it feel like I'm fucking doing that when I leave to go home from the bar.
Hmm.
Okay, so to continue on, I'm going back to the border, woman, where I'm better known. You know you haven't done nothing, drove a good man away from home. Um, what do you think?
It's like saying that he was in love with this woman, one broke up and she was just fucking wasting his time. That's how it hits me anyway.
Yeah, I could certainly
Like, girl, I
understand that.
loved you and you wasted my time and broke up with me.
Yeah. Maybe I might have to listen to this album more. This is starting to feel like the soundtrack for my shit right here, man. Okay, so, oh, give me one more kiss, mama, just before I go. Cause when I leave this time, you know I won't be back no more. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm giving
kiss
up
me
on you.
goodbye
You had
because
your
I ain't
chance.
fucking coming back.
Yeah, you had your chance. You fucking fucked up. Fuck you. You had your chance.
That's what I told that gal who I was involved with, man. I
Yep.
literally said this like, you blew your chance. You could have been way more respective, at least, because she was the abusive party. She didn't physically abuse me, she was mentally abusing me,
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
you know? And I was like, you blew your chance. Heck, my sister Brandy nearly beat the living hell out of her the day before I was like, I'm done.
Damn.
Yeah. And my sister Brandy was just as pissed off as my mom was. And let me tell you, man, it was a good thing my mom didn't get involved because you put my mom and my sister Brandy in a fight with someone, anyone will go to the emergency room and probably not survive. If you think I could get
Shit.
pretty crazy, dude, let's say that my sister and my mom are way more worse than I,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah,
So, ooh, I just heard thunder outside, man.
me too.
Is it raining outside? I haven't looked. I'm gonna
I
look out
can't
my current
tell.
quick. Hang on. Oh yeah, it is starting to rain outside. I'm starting to see raindrops coming down now, so I just hope to God it doesn't fuck with my internet, because some reason the storms like these always fuck with my internet, and I'm the one that's recording this shit, by the way. So
Hmm.
okay, so I got the key to the highway. Good time and bound to go. I'm gonna leave here running. Walking is almost too slow, in a reference to the next one. Then they do it again, and then it's going again. So pretty much that's all there is to it, really. But overall, I did like the song. I did actually like it. It feels like if I just want to kick back, have a beer and all that because of the overall sound, you know? And remember, dude, we're in a small town like setting kind of thing. Even though Grand Rapids
Yeah.
is like how many thousands of people, it's not as big as like Duluth or the cities.
Yeah, I
So,
wrote down that the song was pretty good. It wasn't really good. It wasn't really bad. It was just pretty good.
yeah, I got you, man. Alrighty, so the next
On
song that
to
we got here is Tell the Truth.
All right, the
Um,
song was composed primarily by keyboardist Bobby Whitlock, with guitarist Eric Clapton adding the last verse. The band recorded the track in Miami, Florida in 1970 with Tom Dowd as their producer.
yeah. Oh, it says that there was an earlier version of the song that was recorded during the sessions for George Harrison's debut, All Things Must Pass. And it says that the session marked the first recordings by Derek and the Dominos. And oh, dude, it was produced by Phil Spector. This original, faster version of the song featured guitar contributions from Harrison and Dave Mason. It was issued as Derek and the Dominos' debut single in September of 1970, although the band had the release withdrawn. Probably mean that they probably did not want to release any songs before the album came out or whatever kind of thing. I don't know. I could be wrong. All right, so just 22 at the time, Whitlock wrote Tell the Truth during the early summer of 1970 while living temporarily with Clapton in England. Whitlock worked out the melody on a guitar tuned in open E. Having learned that alternative tuning when Duane Allman was playing with his former band, Delaney and Bonnie and Friends, Whitlock recalled this. Tell the truth, I wrote one night after we'd been up for days on one of our marathons. We used to just play and play and play. We would literally play for 3 days without stopping. Anyway, I was up by myself sitting in Eric's living room when this thing just hit me. I was a younger man, gaining experience and getting older. That's what I was thinking about. I'm wondering, dude, were those days and days of staying awake because they were recording music, or was it because of drugs?
That's a good question. I could see either way going, you know?
Yeah, because remember,
Because you know those
all
rock
the
musicians with their drugs.
yeah, because all of the members on Derek and the Dominoes, with the exception of Duane Allman, I don't think he ever did drugs. Probably drank and whatnot. Everyone was on substance abuse, which was basically cocaine and like whatever else.
Yeah.
And remember, dude, my boy Rick James said it best on Charlie Murphy's True Hollywood Stories. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Now you just finally made a reaction. God damn it, bro. All right, so the lyrics go like, tell me who's been fooling you. Tell the truth, who's been fooling you. I think that's pretty much my mind saying who's been fooling you this whole time in the relationship.
Yeah, is it me or that other guy?
Yeah. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Um, so the next lyrics are, there you sit now, looking so cool, while the whole show is passing you by. Better come to terms with your fellow men soon, cause the whole world is shaking now. Can't you feel it? A new dawn is breaking now. Can't you see it? There
Then it
you
goes through
sit.
the chorus again.
What?
Then it goes through the
Oh,
chorus again.
yeah. There you sit now looking so cool. Dude, I always look cool whenever I fucking sit.
Yeah.
While the whole show is passing you by. Um, I don't know what that part means, dude. I really can't think of it on top of the head in my
I
hand.
mean, you just sit there looking so cool while you're just sitting there as the world's going by around you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gotta be what it is, man. I don't fucking know, honestly. Better come to terms with your fellow men soon, because the whole world is shaking now. Probably come to terms with your wrongs or whatever and make amends because the world's
Yeah,
gonna end, kind of thing.
I could see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with me, dude, I'm never intending to make amends or try to mend them bridges again, because it got to the point where people who I had to burn bridges with, They did way so much damage that I can never forgive them for it.
Yep.
So why would you want to do that? That was at least a philosophy that my dad taught me. Because let me ask you this, dude. Why would you want to make amends with people who really wronged you that severely to the point that it almost destroyed you?
I wouldn't want to.
Exactly. I wouldn't want to either.
All right. Then it goes to the chorus again. And it goes, it doesn't matter just who you are or where you're going or being. Open your eyes and look
Bean?
into my heart.
Bean? It's Ben, dude. It's Ben, not
It can be pronounced
Bean.
either way. It can be pronounced either way.
I've never heard anyone saying Bean, dude.
I have.
Who?
Open your eyes and look into my heart. Whole world is shaking now. Can't you feel it? New dawn is breaking now. Can't you see it?
Like I said, it's
I
a
said,
sign that world's gonna end, dude.
yeah, it says, I said, see it? Yeah. Can't you see it? Can't you see it? Yeah. Can't you see it? I can see it. Yeah.
Woo!
Hear what I say, because every word is true. You know I wouldn't tell you no lies. Your time is coming, gonna be soon, boy. Whole new world is shaking now. Can't you feel it? Whole new dawn is breaking now. Can't you feel it? See it? See it. Yeah, I said see it. I said see it.
Yeah.
Whole world is shaking. And yeah, it just goes on and on.
Yep, I got you, man. Every word is true. You know I wouldn't tell you no lies. That's pretty much like everyone, dude. It's pretty much, I think, also another interpretation of me saying, like, when you say one thing, that pretty much shows your true colors or intent. Heck, look at what happened to Kanye, dude. He had to spill his mouth, dude, and look at him now. Your
Okay,
time's coming. Huh?
so that was Tell the Truth.
Yep.
Right, not gonna lie, I kind of found that song a little bit boring. Wasn't a big fan of it.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, I thought it was decent enough. I think it'll probably be like one of those songs I'll listen to if I'm like having one of them boring days, lazy kind of days. Remember, dude,
Yeah.
when I was doing one of my radio shows a month ago, dude, I literally played music that you would be so fucking lazy
Hmm.
that you would just listen to whatever that makes you feel lazy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Heck, I even called it Roger Radio's laziest show ever. um,
And so on to Why Does Love Got to Be So Sad?
wait, hold on. I need to find my bearings here. Give me a moment. Oh yeah. Why does love got to be so sad? It's because it's fucking Titanic 2.0, motherfuckers.
Uh,
I'm just
uh,
saying, dude. I'm just making a point of it, all right?
excuse me.
You know what the funny thing is, dude? The exact beginning, like the first 5 to 6 seconds, for whatever reason, sounded like the opening of 3 different songs, in my opinion, dude. You want to know those
Yeah.
songs? Touch Me
What?
by the Doors, Pinball Wizard by The Who, and Let It Ride by Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Okay.
Not combined together, but just the overall sound for each of them.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Um, I thought it was a nice one. It's
Why Does Love
another
Got to Be So Sad? I wrote down that I really like this song actually.
I was like, I liked it too. Um, okay, so this is a blues song that was written by Billy Miles and first recorded by American blues and artist Freddie King in 1960. The song is performed as a slow 12-bar blues with King's of vocal and guitar accompanied by a small combo of pianist Sonny Thompson, bassist Bill Willis, and drummer Philip Paul. When the song was released as a single by Federal Records in 1961, only the B-side, You've Got to Love Her with a Feeling, reached the Billboard Hot 100 chart. The song was included on King's first album, Freddie King Sings, also issued by Federal in 1961. Now, we have Eric Clapton's renditions. Have You Ever Loved a Woman later became a part of English guitarist singer Eric Clapton's repertoire with several recorded versions. The first was a live rendition in 1965 while he was a member of John Mayall and the Blues Breakers. Primal Solos released in 1977, then a studio version with Derek and the Dominos, Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs 1970, and a later live recording on In Concert 1970, released 1973. EC was here 1975, Just One Night as a medley with Ramblin' on My Mind in 1980, 24 Nights in 1991, Live in Hyde Park in 1997, One More Car, One More Rider in 2002, and finally, Crossroads Guitar Festival 2004. He must have been a huge fan of this song, man.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
so that's all I got to say, really. There's no lyrics on my fucking YouTube music, dude. How is it that they don't even have all the lyrics for all the fucking songs on this fucking website? What the fuck?
Do you want me to read the lyrics?
Please, could you please, ma'am?
Yeah. Gotta find me a way to get me back to yesterday. How can I ever hope to forget you? Won't you show me a place where I could hide my lonely face? I know you're gonna break my heart if I let you. Why does love got to be so sad? 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 Like a moth to the flame, like a song without a name. I've never been the same since I met you. Like a bird on the wing, got a brand new song to sing. I can't keep from singing about you. Then it goes the chorus again. Why does love got to be so sad? Blah blah blah. I'm beginning to see what a fool you've made of me. I
Yeah.
might have to break the law when I find you. Yes, I will now. Stop running away. I got a better game to play. You know I can't go on living without you. No. Why's love got to be so sad? 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 And then that's it.
You know, I wish you would have read just one portion of it for now. Otherwise, I would have been able to figure out what it is. I mean, I'm telling you, dude, you don't have to necessarily read all of it at once. We could just break down parts, dude. God damn
All
it.
right.
I didn't even get a chance to even fully get in what was what, you know, but
You could have
what are
stopped
your
me. You had a chance
interpretations?
to.
What's that?
You had a chance to stop me, but you didn't.
I froze. But what is your
Have you ever
interpretation about
have
the
you ever
lyrics?
loved a woman so much you tremble in pain? Have you ever loved, I was like, have you ever loved someone so hard that it hurt?
Dude, I don't think I could even tell you the whole list
Yep.
at this
And
fucking
all,
point right now.
and all the time you know, yeah, she bears another man's name. She's interested in someone else, but you know.
So I had like how many of those happen? But you know what, dude? I had one or two of them that were more interested in other women,
Been there.
right?
But you just love that woman so much, it's a shame and a sin. You must love that woman, yes, so much it's a shame and a sin.
Right?
But all the time you know, yes, you know, she belongs to your very best friend. That sounds like a reference to fucking Eric Clapton and, you know.
Oh yeah. Eric Clapton and Patty Boyd. Yep.
Yep.
I totally get what you mean right there, man. You know, like I said,
Yep.
dude, Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs are pretty much about his infatuation with Patty Boyd. So, uh, what doesn't it not make sense that it would be Derek and the Dominos that released it? It would probably
Mm,
make a lot more sense because if he would have released it as like a solo album, like Eric Clapton, Layla, and other assorted love songs, for example, she would probably be a lot more creeped out.
mhm.
I'm just saying, dude, like, he intended for that name, Derek and the Dominos, to, be an alias because he didn't want his name to be out there because he was like, I am so tired of the fame. I just want to be one of the guys,
Yeah, and
you
then it
know?
goes like, yeah, yeah. Have you ever loved a woman and you know you can't leave her alone? Have you ever loved a woman? Yes, and you know you can't leave her alone.
Yep, I know what you mean, man.
Yep, something deep inside of you won't let you wreck your best friend's home.
Something deep inside of you. You're just saying there like, yeah, I'm just gonna ignore you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you mean, man. Like, yeah, yeah. It's so deep, it's fucking painful, dude. It just fucking hurts, you know?
Hmm.
It is not coming out good like how I'm trying to interpret it, dude. So why don't we just move on, dude? Like,
All right. The next one
let
is a Jimi Hendrix cover called Little Wing.
Yep, it was yep, it was originally recorded by Eric Clapton's friend Jimi Hendrix. They were actually really really close friends too, dude. And remember, dude,
Okay.
this is fucking Jimi Hendrix, who is considered the greatest guitarist of all time, dude. Like, have you ever listened to any of his stuff?
Not much, honestly.
You might need to listen to more of it. I mean, dude, you've been here in my crib, dude. I literally got 3 pictures of Jimi Hendrix right here, and my dad was a huge Hendrix fan.
And you got that lava lamp. Can't forget about that.
Yep, I got that beautiful piece of work right there. And I also got two Funko Pops of Jimi Hendrix too.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, yeah, those two I bought myself. My sister didn't give them to me. I bought them for myself, but I think either I gave my sister Brandy a Jimi Hendrix one pop that I had, or I gave my mom that. I can't remember. But one of them has it. It was the same as the Funko Pop that I have in the smaller box, but instead of blue, he was yellow. So, alrighty. So, Little Wing is let me say this about Little Wing. It sounded very dominating. That's why I liked it. It sounded,
Yeah, it's
hard.
about like a yeah, to me it's about like a guardian angel.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know yet. So Lil Wing is a song that was written by Jimi Hendrix and recorded by his band, The Jimi Hendrix Experience, in 1967. It is a slow tempo, rhythm and blues inspired ballad featuring Hendrix's vocal and guitar with recording studio effects accompanied by bass, drums, and glockenspiel. Oh, it's a percussion instrument consisting
Yeah,
of pitched
glockenspiel is kind
aluminum.
of like a vibraphone or like a xylophone kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture of it. It actually almost looks like a piano, but instead of piano keys, it's the gold keys.
Yeah,
Almost looks like a golden xylophone right there, don't it?
I could see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Lyrically, it is one of several of his songs that reference an idealized feminine or guardian angel-like figure. At about 2.5 minutes in length, it is most of his. It's one of his most concise and melodically focused pieces. The origins of it has been traced back to 1966 with the recording of "My Girl, She's a Fox," an R&B song that features Hendrix playing Curtis Mayfield influenced guitar accompaniment. I meant. He developed the song while performing in New York City's Greenwich Village prior to his involvement with producer Chaz Chandler. After being inspired by the events of the 1967 Monterey Pop Festival, which is considered one of the biggest music festivals in history, Hendrix completed the song in October of '67 when it was recorded by the Experience during the sessions for their second album, Axis, Bold as Love. And actually, one of the Hendrix pictures that I have is actually the art cover for that album. All right, let's see. I guess I didn't know that. Little Wing is actually listed at number 357 for Rolling Stone's 500 greatest songs of all time.
Hmm.
Yeah. But hey, I thought the Derek and the Dominos version was just as good too, you know. Alrighty, so there ain't much for lyrics here. Well, she's walking through the clouds with a circus mind that's running round. Butterflies and zebras, fairy tales. That's all she ever thinks about. She has like her own kind of fantasy thing, and she probably
Yeah.
expects her man friend to like the same interest that she has in order for like the relationship to like work kind of thing. That's just me anyway, so
Yeah, I could see it. Yeah.
that is like when my sister and my brother-in-law got together, my sister had to ask like what his interests were. And next thing you know, blah blah blah. So all right, so the next one. When I'm sad, she comes to me. With 1,000 smiles, she gives to me free. Said, it's all right. Take anything you want, anything. It's almost harping back to like that therapeutic kind of thing, you know, like anytime you're feeling sad and down and blah blah blah. No, the female companionship helps.
Yes. And it kind of repeats itself for verse one, it looks like.
Yep, walking through the same. It's pretty much walking through all the stuff except with the last part here.
Woo, fly on little wing, baby, baby, fly on.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right, and then this next one, it's too late. It looks like it's another cover song.
Yeah. Oh, right before we continue on, I got pissed quick. So just to talk about whatever for promo stuff. I'll be right back.
All right, so of course, subscribe to Roger Radio Podcast, Roger Radio Show. It really helps us out. We're putting a lot of work into this. So yes, subscribe to Roger Radio Show, like, subscribe, share, whatever the hell. Uh yeah, and in addition to that, subscribe to the Intermission group. We do some stupid shit over there. We got some big plans for the nearby future. And we got another video we recorded recently in the works that we're just waiting on Roger to edit, but he's got to take his time because he puts a lot of work into his editing, so can't rush him. So yeah, subscribe to Roger Radio Show, subscribe to the Intermission group, watch our shit, like it, subscribe. Yeah, that's all I got to say. There he is.
Okay, so what did you think of this song?
Oh, it's too late. Oh, let me see.
Yeah.
I thought it was decent. Wasn't anything incredible, wasn't anything bad, it was just decent.
Oh God.
What?
This song was sampled. There's a bunch of versions that we'll get into, but actually, you know, I want to get into the other information before I get to the sampling part because the sampling part you're not gonna like. So, okay,
Yeah.
so before we get to that, "It's Too Late" was a song that was written and performed by Chuck Willis. It reached number 3 on the U.S. R&B chart in 1956. The song was featured on his 1958 album, King of the Stroll. All right, so there were other charting versions that were made. Johnny O'Keefe released a version of it as a single in Australia in 1960 that reached number 17, and Ted Taylor released a version of the song which reached number 30 on the US R&B chart and number 118 on the US pop chart in old 1969. There was a fuck ton of these versions here. So I'm going to try and get to them as much as I can. The first one was in 1957. It was a B-side to the song Rock Me My Baby by Dorothy Collins. Then the Crickets released it on their 57 album, The Chirping Crickets, which had Buddy Holly. Roy Orbison had a version on his 1961 album, At the Rock House. Les Paul and Mary Ford made a B-side version of this to their 1961 single, Mountain Railroad. Charlie Rich released a version of the song as a B-side to his 61 single, Just a Little Bit Sweet. Ruth Brown released a version of the song on her 62 album, Along Came Ruth. Jerry Keller, had a version as a B-side to his 63 single, What Will I Tell My Darling? Sonny and the Sunliners released a version in 64, but it did not chart. Otis Redding had a version of his own on the 65 album, The Great Otis Redding Sings Soul Ballads. Freddie King had a version on his 69 album, Freddie King is a Blues Master. Then we got the aforementioned Derek and the Dominos on their album. The song was also performed on the Johnny Cash Show, which was the band's only television appearance. Then John Hammond had a version of his own on his 1970 album, Southern Fried. The legendary Conway Twitty released a version of his own on the 76 album, 20 Greatest Hits by Conway Twitty. So this is probably not a greatest hit song per se from his past work, but just something he wanted to add.
It's just like a jazz standard. It's like a standard.
Exactly, yes. Freddie Fender released a version of it on the 72 album, If You're Ever in Texas. Merle Saunders, Jerry Garcia, John Conn, and Bill Vitt had a version of their own released on the 1988 album, Keystone Encores. And finally, the Alligators, featuring the Jordanaires, released a version of their own on their 96 album, The History of Rock and Roll. And now, Aegis, yo, wake up.
Yeah, I'm looking at the lyrics right now.
Okay, I got you. The sampling, the Otis Redding version, was sampled on a song called Gone on a 2005 album called Late Registration. And guess who was the singer? Or the rapper? Kanye West sampled it.
Oh.
The Black Nazi himself sampled it. I mean, I'm just like, unfucking believable. You know what that tells me, dude? If it was me, dude, and if somebody wanted to sample it, dude, I'd be like, get a cease and desist, man. Unless you gotta give me some of that extra pie. You gotta give me that piece of the pie. I mean, having it sampled by a rapper or hip-hop artist is one thing, but to have a fucking Nazi like this doing that. Alrighty. I'm gonna pull up the lyrics too. Do you want to read the lyrics for me?
Yeah.
I have the lyrics on here too, but I'll let you read them.
All right. It's too late. She's gone. It's too late. My baby's gone. Wish I had told her she was my only one. It's too late. She's gone.
You're too late, man. She moved on.
Yep.
Even though
it's a woman that
it's pretty much like for me it's like when it comes to that, dude, you know you fucked up bad and she left you because you fucked up bad and you're just pleading to take her back, but she moved on kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. And it goes on, it's a woman that cries, so I guess I
Hide
gotta
my
dry
eyes.
my eyes. Yes, I'll miss her more than anyone. It's too late. She's gone.
For me, dude, it's like it's like that personal life story thing with those gals on no at my first year at ICC, you know, the ones who were like lesbians and all that, you know, they were
Yeah.
romantically involved with one another, dude. And I was just there. It was kind of like one of them love triangle things, even though nothing sexual happened between me or any of them, you know. I guess they were
Yeah, I
kind
get
of
that.
like what's the proper word for it? They're like there is emotional support kind of thing.
Can't think of the term.
Yeah, I can't either, man, you know. It's already been like almost 10 years now. Heck, funny thing is that one of them, when I was going to school at Bemidji State my first year, one of them just so happened to be in the nursing program there. So it was just like one of those I can't think of the proper term honestly, but it's like that one episode of MASH, you know, where my main guy Hawkeye Pierce, he ends up finding this one gal that he was dating and whatnot, or was involved with, you know, kind of thing. It was kind of like that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's yeah.
All right. And I wonder, does she know when she left me, it hurt me so. I need your love, babe. Please don't make me wait. Tell me it's tell me it's not too late.
He's pleading for it to not be too late, but it is.
And I wonder, does she know when she left me, it hurt me so. I need your love, babe. Please don't make me wait. Tell me it's not too late.
Like I said, dude, it is almost a reference to On the Run by Pink Floyd, dude, from Dark Side of the Moon, dude. That desperation thing, like please, 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 and it's too late.
Yes.
Excuse me.
And then it's on to Layla.
Ha ha ha! Yes, dude. Yes.
Easily the best
Yes.
song on the album. Easily.
Yes. And their biggest song to date, my good friend. Let me tell you something about this quick. This song right here, in general, is often considered as Eric Clapton's greatest achievement here. It is considered his greatest musical achievement in his whole entire music career. But, dude, that's the one thing that confuses me so, dude, is because, like, he had so much other good stuff that he did, not just with Cream, not just with Blind Faith, not just with Derek and the Dominos, but there was also his solo work, dude. He had so much great stuff in his solo work, you know?
Yeah.
And even then, dude, like, I could certainly understand why, dude, like, the overall sound of it, dude, oh my God, just so good, man. It's almost like broken into two parts, honestly, you know? You had the hard rockin' stuff, you know? And then you had the slow piano stuff. Some reason, dude, let me tell you something here. When I had my high school senior prom in 2012, dude, I actually wanted this song played at it. The hard rocking part would just be us dancing on the dance floor, and then the slow part where the piano part came in, it would be the slow dancing song with my prom date.
Hmm. That's a good
I
idea. I
had it
like that.
I had it all so worked out, dude, and they fucked me up on that. They fucked me over on that. And let me tell you something, dude. My prom date, dude, she almost looked like Debbie Harry from Blondie. I'm not kidding you. You can't make this up. Look up a picture of her right now and you tell me that I did not have it good.
What was the name again?
Debbie Harry.
Yeah, she's pretty cute.
I told you, man. Just, mwah. And back in those days, dude, the gal that I went to prom with, she was like, okay, so for some reason, dude, and this is just off topic right here, all of the guys in my senior class, dude, we all went with freshmen. And
Yeah.
to this very day, we are still trying to figure out whose idea was it to do this, and everyone kept pointing the finger at me because I was the first one in all of them to ask someone out to prom, right? I wasn't even intending to go to my senior prom because I felt it was a waste of time and whatnot, but I was like, you know what? It's my senior year in high school, so why not? Fuck it, right? Um, I think out of all of us, there was only 4 of us guys who went because the rest of the guys in my class either went to the high school senior proms in here in Grand Rapids or in Reamer. And we had our senior prom at Sugar Lake Lodge. You know that place,
Yeah.
don't you? Sugar Lake
Yeah.
Lodge?
Yeah. I've been there. I've been there.
Yeah. Really nice setting, dude. It was actually a really nice setting, you know? But yeah, dude. This fucking song right here, dude. This was pretty much the one song that was further inspired by Clapton's secret love for Patty
Mm.
Boyd. It was inspired by a love story that originated in 7th century Arab literature and later formed the basis of the story of Layla and Majnun by the 12th century Persian poet Nizami Ganjavi, a copy of which Ian Dallas had given to Clapton. The book moved Clapton profoundly because it was the tale of a young man who fell hopelessly in love with a beautiful young girl, went crazy, and so could not marry her. And Aegis, no, yeah, I'm gonna let you, bro. I'm gonna let you tell the rest of the story right here, dude. It was inspired by.
Uh, the song was further inspired by Clapton's secret love for Patty Boyd, the wife of his friend and fellow musician George Harrison. After Harrison and Boyd divorced, Clapton and Boyd eventually married.
Eric Clapton, you ended up getting your wish, dude. He actually did get his wish, but that marriage only lasted 10 years because of his cocaine addiction and all that. And from what I heard, they actually fought frequently, you know? And it was very sad, dude. Like, I saw a picture of her, dude, and she actually looked really nice. And you know what the fuck, you know, I know what the thing was, dude? George Harrison and Patty Boyd divorced in 1977. Eric Clapton married her in 79. And from what George Harrison said in later interviews, he was actually not upset about it. He actually even attended their wedding. He actually
I wouldn't do
did.
that. I'd be too fucking petty to do that shit.
Yeah, dude, that was like but it was George Harrison, dude. He was a guy who always forgave, dude. But let me ask you, dude, if let's say that if you were in a marriage and the gal ended up leaving you or whatnot, what would you do? Would you go to her marriage after she got remarried?
No, I would not.
Yeah, that would be the same for me, dude. I'd be like, no, go fuck yourself. And yeah, he could go fuck himself too. Why would you want to celebrate what they're doing? You know?
Yeah.
No, if it was me, dude, just be like, you know what? Just tell me how much I gotta pay you, and just be like, how much custody can I have of my kids, and we'll go on with our separate lives. All right. So, Layla, since its release, experienced such great critical and popular acclaim, and is often hailed as being among the greatest rock songs of all time. 2 versions have achieved charting success. This one here, and then Eric Clapton's version that he did on MTV Unplugged on his 92 live album. Did you listen to that performance, dude? It's actually probably his most best performance of Layla was the acoustic version.
I did not listen to that. No. I just listened to the version on the album.
classic rock radio often not only plays the Derek and the Dominos version of Layla consistently, dude, but there was a few times that they've actually played his MTV Unplugged performance, which was an acoustic thing, and Layla is currently ranked at number 27 on Rolling Stone's 500 greatest songs of all time, and the acoustic version, which Eric Clapton did as a solo, won the 1993 Grammy Award for Best Rock Song. And like I said, dude, since then, Layla is often regarded as Eric Clapton's greatest song, his magnum opus song. But like I said, dude, like, what is your take about it, honestly?
I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was a really good song.
Yeah. Have you ever listened to like any of his other stuff, like his solo work or his work with Cream and Blind Faith?
I've listened to some of his work with Cream.
Yeah, it's the one thing is like he's a blues musician mostly, dude. But he was on the first official supergroup, Cream, which is considered a psychedelic rock band.
Yeah, the way I figured out about Cream was David Bowie in his album Black Tie White Noise did a cover of their song I Feel Free.
Really?
Yep.
Huh. Yeah, man. I mean, it's like I said, dude, like I said, dude, Layla is often regarded his as his magnum opus and his greatest musical achievement, dude. But like I could believe that, dude. Like it's really good. I have listened to like Cream, Blind Faith, and his solo work, and I think Layla was the one that really pushed the boundaries for like what he could do with like the overall work of it, of how it should all be arranged and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I will say this, dude. I am happy that Dwayne Allman did make an appearance on this song. You know? All right, so shall we get into the lyrics?
Yeah. What'll you do when you get lonely and no one's waiting by your side? You've been running and hiding much too long. You know it's just your foolish pride.
Um, is it like if a woman left her man currently?
And she's all alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course goes, Layla, you've got my on my knees. Layla, I'm begging, darling, please. Layla, darling, won't you ease my worried mind?
Begging, begging, begging and all that.
Yep. I tried to give you consolation when your old man had let you down. Like a fool, I fell in love with you. It turned my whole world upside down.
So I honestly I can't recall like how Patty and George's marriage was at that particular time. And Eric Clapton was just like, "Hey, if you need to talk to someone, I'm here for you."
Yeah.
And remember, like I said, dude, when it came to those bell-bottom jeans, she asked him to get a pair of those for her.
Yeah. And then it goes on, so make
With
the best of the situation before I finally go insane. Please don't say you'll never find a way and tell me all my love's in vain.
um, just make the best of it with what you guys got going on.
Yeah.
But he said, please don't say we'll never find a way.
Yeah, he is
Sometimes it ain't a full
obsessed with this
guarantee
woman.
kind of thing. It ain't a full guarantee kind of thing. Like, yeah, we won't find a way to fall in love, but will we? But then Eric said, oh yeah, we'll see about that. It's almost
Mm,
like fate saying, please don't say we'll never find a way. And Eric Clapton's like, hold my beer. I'll show you how
yeah.
it's done. And look what happened. He got his wish, dude. He got his fucking wish to marry her, dude, and to be with her is the thing. But in the end, dude, what makes it so much more sad is that his addictions that he was dealing with, dude, got the better of him, dude. So I'm looking this up right now. He married her in 1979 and they divorced in 1989. So I'm going to look at this right here for you quick. I'm going to read a bit of this before we continue on. All right, let me see here. Clapton became friends with George Harrison in the late 1960s and they began writing and recording music together. Clapton fell in love with Pattie Boyd, who was married to Harrison at the time. Harrison and Boyd divorced in 1977 and she married Clapton on March 27th, 1979 in Tucson, Arizona. And like I said, George Harrison was not mad at all about it. Like I said, he even attended their fucking wedding for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
But here's where it all just went apart. Their marriage was marred by his infidelities and domestic violence. During a 1999 interview with the Sunday Times, Clapton admitted to raping and abusing her when they were married, and he was still a full-blown alcoholic who felt entitled to sex. In
That is
1984,
fucked up.
yeah, in 1984, while recording Behind the Sun, Clapton began a relationship with Yvonne Kelly, the manager of AIR Studios Montserrat. Although both were married to other partners at that time, they had a daughter named Ruth Kelly Clapton in January 1985. It was with that Yvonne Kelly character. Ruth's existence was kept from the public until the media realized she was his child in 1991. Clapton and Boyd tried unsuccessfully to have children, even trying in vitro fertilization in 1984, but were faced instead with miscarriages. He had an affair with Italian model Lori Del Santo, who gave birth to their son Connor on August 21st, 1986. Clapton and Boyd later divorced in 1989 after she was utterly devastated by his confession to impregnating Del Santo during this affair. Connor died on March 20th, 1991 at the age of 4 after falling out of an open bedroom window on the 53rd floor of a Manhattan apartment building. That was the child.
That sounds kind of suspicious.
What do you mean by that?
Like, how do you know that the child went out the window on his own? Like, someone could have pushed him out. Someone could have thrown him.
I don't know, man. But that was the child that Eric Clapton had to deal with, for like the child falling to his death thing. Very sad indeed, man. Very sad.
Anything else on that one, or on to Thorn Tree in the Garden?
I will say this. This is the worst fucking song I've ever had an album close out on. It almost sounded
I was
too
gonna say it was pretty boring to me.
it sounded like it sounded too Wild Mountain Honey-ish to me. And that is a reference to the song by Steve Miller Band called Wild Mountain Honey, which is probably one of my top 5 most hated songs.
Hmm.
And I think Thorn Tree in the Garden surpassed it now. Let me. There was some information that I did find here, so let me just see if I can find it. It's about the song itself. There was like all 5 of them like sitting around each other like in a circle or whatever, and I gotta see if I can fucking find it here. Okay, here we go. It was recorded with Whitlock, Clapton, Allman, Radel, and Gordon sitting in a circle around a single microphone. And like I said, dude, I did not care about the song at all.
I didn't either.
We might as well just read the lyrics anyway. We can't let our guests
Yeah.
hang, right?
There's a thorn tree in the garden, if you know what I mean, and I hate to hurt your feelings because I know it's not the way it seems because I miss her.
Oh.
She's the only
Um,
girl I. Oh, sorry.
no. I hate to hurt your feelings, but it's not the way it seems because I miss her. What does that mean? Do you want them to feel your pain, but they really can't because they haven't seen you in how long?
I think they're saying that he pushed her away, but that's not the way it seems because I miss her. I
Yeah,
didn't intentionally push her away, you know?
yeah, I know.
She's the only girl I've cared for, the only one I've known, and no one ever shared more love than we've known, and I miss her.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's going back to that infatuation thing. Like, no, she's like the one true gal that you really, really like, dude, and you can attest to that with what you got going on with your friend, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm sure with that line right there, you could certainly understand that, you know, or really relate to that, especially with what you got going on, you know.
Hmm.
Um, all right, so continue on, sir.
Right, but it all seems so strange, you see, 'cause she'd never turn her back on me and leave without a last goodbye. And if she winds up walking the streets, loving every other man she meets, who'll be the one to answer why? Lord, I hope it's not me. Oh, it's not me.
You know what? The part where it says leave without a last goodbye, do you know how many times I actually fucking did that and actually
How
did
many times?
regret? A lot. And it's mainly because of fucking college, man. Like there were so many people who I never even said goodbye to, you know, especially when it came to college.
Yeah.
Um, you know, it's kind of like those things where it's like I just disappear, fade away kind of thing, you know. If she winds up walking the streets, loving every other man she meets, God knows how many women I was infatuated with or in love with did that.
Oh, yeah. And if I never see her face again, I never hold her hand. And if she's in somebody's arms, I know I'll understand, but I'll miss that girl. Lord, I'll still miss that girl.
You know, like when it, yeah, that part. It's for me. It's like if you can never hold her hand again, you never say goodbye, and she falls in love with someone else. Hey, yeah, that'll help you understand more. Like, what could I have done to be a better person in the relationship instead of being the piece of shit that I am?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, there's like how many relationships and marriages that I've seen that ended really bad. And there is a whole lot of people who even came to me because they know I understand pretty good. I don't know how. I'm like a person they trust. And they always say, maybe someday we'll understand, you know? But I was like, hey, dude, there's no going back now. You got to look forward to the future kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what is there to do, man? You don't have a rewind button, and you can't go back in time to redo it all over again. Unless if we're like in the year 3000, like my boy Philip J. Fry.
Hmm.
um, so is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Alrighty, man. So ladies and gentlemen, we have finally reached the conclusion of Layla and other assorted love songs, and I will say this quickly. Oh. I'm sorry, dude. I had to do that. But okay, so the album name, they could have just said Layla instead, dude. Otherwise, they could have said love poems or whatever kind of thing, you know?
I don't know. I kind of like the name the way it is. Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs. I kind of like it like that.
I don't know. It's just me, anyways. But, ladies and gentlemen, what is there to say about this album? I have to get the fucking painting of this album. Hell, dude, I'll even go out to wherever the fuck it's at now and just offer the current owners $3 million if I have to. Or whatever the fuck it is
Three
over in
million
Europe that they call
dollars.
it. What?
$3 million.
Yeah. Yeah. If it's in France, just be like, $3 million. But yeah, dude, I thought it was a great album, you know, like what would you rate this album at out of 10?
7.5.
Yeah, I would say around 7 for me personally. There's a lot of good songs
Yeah.
that are on here, but there's a lot of songs that I probably won't re-listen to again. Unless if it's Bell Bottom Blues and my most favorite song from this, Layla.
Yeah, it's not an album for me. Like I can appreciate that it was a good album, but it's not something I'm gonna go out of the way and listen to on my own, you know?
Yeah. Ugh. My okay, so my most favorite song is Layla, and my least favorite song, Thorn Tree in the Garden.
Same here. I agree with you.
And you know what, dude? I will say this right now, personally, dude. If they would have flipped the songs around, had Thorn Tree in the Garden first and then Layla as the closing song, dude, it would have worked.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know. I actually would have preferred it that way. There's songs that sound like Thorn Tree in the Garden that are like on other albums that I've listened to that ended like that sound, dude. And I would rather not have any. If I was a musician myself, I would not have a song end that fucking quiet or boring. I would just go out with a huge ass banger and whatnot. Would you? Let me
Yeah.
ask you this: would you ever do it with any of your albums? End with a huge banger?
I'd always end it with a huge banger. Or
Hell
something
yeah!
interesting and cool, at least. Not
Right?
something boring as all hell.
Yeah, without a doubt. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, like Derek and the Dominos only recorded this one album, and somehow it became one of the greatest of all time. And it's all because of Eric Clapton falling deeply in love with Patty Boyd and all this shit, man. Like, it should, like, everything that happened to him in many, many years afterwards should not take away from all the achievements that he made in the music industry. And despite all the fucking demons and all the tragedies he dealt with, he still soldiered on, dude. He still soldier on. And that is an example that all musicians in the music industry should follow. Look to Eric Clapton's life story, and I guarantee you, you will all persevere and overcome everything too, you know? And like I said, Layla is often regarded as his greatest musical achievement. Like I said, I've listened to his solo stuff. I've listened to his work in Cream and Blind Faith. I haven't listened to any of his work in the band Delaney and Bonnie, dude, but Layla is so constructed perfectly, dude. And to think, dude, this whole album would not have happened if it wasn't for Dwayne Allman's appearance and, you know, contributions, because Dwayne Allman also helped make the album what it is. And even despite the fact that Dwayne Allman did not live long enough, dude, it should not take away from what he did to help lay the groundwork for everything else, too. Like, all the tragedies and misfortunes that happened with Derek and the Dominos, man, you know, I say it's that makes Derek and the Dominos a cursed band, but you know it's just all coincidence. So like we cannot control what happens to us. You know,
Yeah.
we cannot. It was just unfortunate situations, you know. But at the same time, this album right here really helped make Derek and the Dominos an unknown entity, or at least a well-known name. But I always wonder what could have been if they kept continuing. Any final thoughts, man?
No, we got nothing else to say.
Alrighty. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to do it for this album and for today's podcast. Thank you all so much for listening, tuning in, and all that. Just remember, ladies and gentlemen, when all else comes to fail, if you want to lose your virginity instantly, subscribe to the Roger Radio Show. And if you want more great content from what we are doing, subscribe to the Intermission group as well. You know, we got a lot of good projects that are coming up, man, and I cannot wait to see it, you know?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I drank all my beer, man. Now, if y'all excuse us, we gotta go to Boulder Tap House. So, thank you all so much for tuning in, and until next time, ta-ta for now!
Peace.